Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. My name is Elric, and in this video we are going to create a procedure that will get the code from a procedure name that we pass it and try to execute it and save it in our interface history or interface archive tables. So we are going to start versioning procedures without using, SVN. Or essentially just turning SQL into, make sure you back everything up. Just worry about backups. Don't worry about temporal tables. Don't worry about snapshots. Don't worry about SVN. We'll take care of all of that for you. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you soon. All right, so I created a procedure called PRC System Object Process Version Process. It takes in a process name, a history flag, and an archive flag. Now these flags are meant to tell the system or tell this procedure, should I put it in interface history or interface archive? Now, all I really needed was a date string as an additional, when did this happen? And that is going to be from a function that we created back in 001, I believe, full circle. We need two of our standard SQL scripts, just the base and the execute. And we need to know what database names are history, main, and archive for interface main. So first we just get those variables, those database names for interface archive, interface history, and interface main. After we do that, we can pull the object definition for the process name from sys.procedures. Since all of our code, all of our procedures are going to be in interface main, this makes this procedure very easy to create because we don't have to figure out what database is this on and, all that other fun stuff. Now, the date string, like I said, back from 01, if I run it, it's going to return today's date followed by the time. And if I run it again, you'll see that the time starts to change. That's all that function does. Full circle. So creating the archive or creating the version of the procedure is actually really tough because the definition will remember if you created a procedure with square bracket DBO square bracket dot or just DBO dot. So we have to account for both. And how we do that is, well, we're going to have to use the database. And we need a return character. We need to dynamically execute the procedure because create procedure has to be first in the batch. So this is exec, open paren, and then 3 single quotes. So what we have to do is we have to replace dbo.process name with a token. So if it's, if this is in the code, it's not going to get replaced. So we have to make sure that dbo.process name is replaced. Now, when we write code, we never use square brackets, so this is very simple. dbo dot gets replaced by the database, the interface main database name .dbo dot. So it knows that if this was a synonym, it's going to call interface main and that synonym. And not only will it compile because the object exists, but in the rare case that we do want to run it to see what the history version returned, we will have that ability. And that's a very important ability to have. Next, in this definition, we want to replace all of these single quotes, because we use that a lot, with double quotes because we're going to be dynamically executing this. So that is 4 single quotes here and 6 single quotes here. And that wraps up the replace function. So we just terminate our exec statement with 3 single quotes and end paren and finally closing out the string literal. Now, to take care of both pieces, did we use dbo dot or did we use square bracket dbo square bracket dot? We first want to replace the process name with an underscore and a date string. Or we want to replace the process name that's in our newly replaced structure with the process name concatenating the underscore and the date string. And then we're going to make a second pass to see if version process was there. You know, sometimes you want to create a procedure right off the bat, sometimes using templates. So this is a very hard thing to avoid unless you're really making sure that every single thing you do, you're opening it back up. And when you open it up, when you modify it, it automatically does this. If you do not take this additional step, SQL will yell at you. You cannot put a database in front of the, you cannot create procedure database name .dbo .procedure name. You can't do that. SQL will yell at you. So after that second replacement, we execute it. And for the archive flag, it's identical, except we're just using a different database. So we're filling the execute with the same stuff. Now, what that will do is we can let's take this one. So create single is pretty intense. Let's see if this works. Version process. We're going to say, I want you to version, create single, put it in history, do not put it in archive. And we can go check it out. We can open it up to see how it looks. And it remembered, it got all of this down. So even the most complex piece, it was able to version it properly, give it a time, and we can still probably use it because it's still pointing to interface synonyms. So that is it. I'm going to do one quick scroll back down through this procedure, very lightweight. You could modify this for your current system. It might get really complicated and really ugly, but hey, it's a really very strong, powerful piece of code to have and use. That is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Next video is a little bit of tech debt. Then we have our sprint review or retrospective and planning. And then a ton of tech debt, plus new Python and SQL series sprouting up, and just a bunch of fun ahead of us. So thank you once again for making it this far. Remember, like this video and YouTube will recommend it to other users, and subscribe to support me. I will see you next time.